What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to continue to take a little bit of a deeper dive on the Guilty Gear Strive cast. Again, we're going to go to the lower end. I know a lot of people usually like talking about breaking down the strongest characters and why they are super good, but today we're going to talk about Potemkin. Not gonna lie, on release, I was not a fan of this character. This character actually had the opposite arc of Nagoriyuki. So as a reminder, Nagoriyuki, people started with thinking he was really weak, and then it turned out that he was really, really strong, right? In the beta of this game, Potemkin was incredibly strong, actually. He received a couple of waves of nerfs in the beta, and still on release, he was quite strong. That being said, though, I thought he was strong, but fine, if not annoying. And actually, pretty early in the game's launch cycle, I made a video, heavily referencing Potemkin, but he was not the only character who had this at the time, how I really disliked Guard Crush as a mechanic. So he was one of the three standout characters using the mechanic. It was him, Soul, and Leo Whitefang. As far as Guard Crush, little did we know there would be more to come. Wink wink. But of course, things happened, and Potemkin is rated pretty low right now. I think most people have the opinion that he is currently the worst character in the game. So let's take a look at him, let's take a look at his pros and cons, and what actually happened to him in the game to bring about his downfall. One of the most obvious pros to playing Potemkin is that he has a ton of life. He has both a good defense modifier and good guts. There's only one character who has more health than him. It's Nagoriyuki by 1 HP. So essentially, he is tied for having the most life in the entire game. This matters a lot, of course, because you can make a lot of mistakes. You have a lot of opportunities to be back in the game. You have a lot of opportunities to get your burst back, build meter, etc. I've talked about how life works in the video on Nagoriyuki. So just as a quick damage comparison, this is a pretty standard B&B from Baiken, so on Potemkin does 149, but this same combo against Chip, who essentially has the lowest life total in the game, does 197. So don't forget, this is a YOLO 420 Blaze It game. Everyone technically has 420 HP, so this is a pretty significant difference in damage between Chip and Potemkin. Another pro for Potemkin is he has unique defensive options and mobility. So you have Mega Fist to both move around the screen and hop over things. It looks like his jump as well and goes about the same height, so it could be a little hard for people to pick anti-air versus waiting for Mega Fist to punish versus meeting him air versus air. His backdash has 6 frames of invulnerability, making it so that he can backdash out of things that other characters have problems escaping. For a comparison here, I have Baiken. So Baiken has a pretty standard backdash. It has 5 frames of invincibility. Here, I'm going to have Nagoriyuki doing this string. You're pretty familiar with it. It's his full Far Slash. So the last hit of Far Slash has 6 frames of invincibility. So what will happen if I backdash is, predictably, I will get hit. There's nothing I can do here to fix this. I'll just get hit no matter what. Where Potemkin, with his 6 frame backdash, rather than having to hold this, he's able to slip right through. And finally, on the defensive side, he has a large throw, just like the other heavy characters. So to show this, I'll have him here. This is his throw range. So not only does he have Pop Buster, but of course he has just his normal heavy grab. So if I try to throw right before I'm already out of range, he's able to easily throw Milia, who has a small throw range. Now, another really good thing about Potemkin is that he always has a chance to win because of how he actually wins the game. His win condition actually involves cornering you and using Garuda Impact to 50-50 you, because in most fighting games, when you set up a throw situation, the defender has throw invincibility. So if I was to use something like this, so while this looks extremely tight, and look how close this is to not grabbing, but I indeed get grabbed because I timed it correctly. You have to time your grabs after they leave the throw invincibility window. In this game, it's 5 frames. But because of this, there's defensive techniques we can use to mitigate this situation. Things like fuzzy jump, so delaying your jump for after you exit the throw protection. And then also, because of the throw invincibility, you can, instead of just getting grabbed, you can choose to attack. This is something that they changed quite a bit since the game came out, so that more people can escape in the case that they know. If I use a slower attack like Milius 2K, Milius 2K is 6 frames and not 4, I will 100% get grabbed with the right timing. If the defender uses an attack that's too slow, it doesn't matter how fast you mash, you will not have the throw invincibility, so that the grab will always win no matter what. You can actually see here that I'm trying to 2K, so I'm mashing as soon as possible, but then I get grabbed anyway. Now the thing is, about Guard of the Impact specifically, Guard Crush has 0 throw invincibility, so you can't use standard fighting game defensive techniques against throws here. You basically have to cleanly guess. So in this case, even if I mash 2P, which is a 4-frame move, I'll get grabbed 100% of the time because I don't have throw protection to protect me. Oddly worded, I know, but that's how it works. So because of this and how much damage Potemkin Buster does, if he does get the situation, he can close in about 2 hits pretty reliably. He's also not very easy to zone, primarily because he has 2 pretty good anti-zoning tools. So one is this is a pretty traditional one in the game, is Flick. So if he makes contact with a projectile of this move, it will reflect the projectile. So like that. The other one is Slide Head. So this is in 2 ways. So one, it reaches from full screen, and it's 0 on block, so he recovers pretty quickly. If you were Kyle and you were trying to zone him with this, the Slide Head would armor and even hit you. Or it will straight up hit you. So usually you have to compensate by trying to get into a range to punish this on reaction. But that gets you closer to Potemkin and lets him use other moves. It's actually a pretty common theme of this game that the big bodies who would tend to get zoned in other games have pretty good anti-zoning tools, and Potemkin has that as well. And last is that you need specific counterplay to his super armor just because of how the game is designed. There's not a lot of multi-hitting moves, and there's not a lot of like mash to cancel into themselves moves. So you need answers, less to Slide Head, even though it's nice to have answers to this, and more to things like Hammerfall, because when he uses it with meter, he's going to be able to close the gap very quickly. Now let's go on to his cons. So while he has unique mobility in things like his backdash and Mega Fist, as far as traditional mobility, he's not really out here. He can't run. He does have a double jump, unlike Nagoriyuki, but no air dash. He has a slower jump as well, so he's vulnerable to some situations that other characters would not be because it takes him longer to get off the ground. Also, not having a run or air dash makes his movement very linear, mainly outside of meter options like this or Mega Fist. One of the main ways he varies his movements is between jump and Mega Fist, and Kara options to make him go further than he would normally. 2 would be defense. So Mega Fist is also a good defensive tool. Back Mega Fist is plus on block, and he goes off the ground frame 3 as opposed to frame 5, his normal jump. However, the move is not fast. It's just about it going over stuff. So his fastest normal is 5P, but as you see, you can't hit people who are crouching with it, basically in almost any case. There might be some niche cases where it works, but it just means it's just really hard to use defensively. His 2P is like 8 frames, so this is like their general mashing thing if they choose to not use back Mega Fist. This makes it so that Potemkin really gets oppressed on defense compared to other characters. The character is rather committal in neutral, and what I mean is that he doesn't really have like safe go-tos, and he's not really good at attacking from a safe range. This has been something I've been thinking about a lot on how important it is in this game. So an extreme of this is Happy Chaos, right? So I'm picking him specifically so you understand what do I mean by being able to attack from a safe range. So Happy Chaos, with a combination of just the H button and steady aim, is able to attack safely and be advantageous and confirm the situation, combo if he needs to, or move in like that. So he's very flexible in that he's able to attack from safe ranges when he wants to on his terms. So while Potemkin has anti-zoning tools like Flick or Slide Head, besides that, he's not very good at attacking safely. A lot of his good moves are pretty committal. So for example, his 5H, which is massive, while it's good that it's huge, if he whiffs, he's vulnerable for a very long time. Mega Fist is a good move, but also he's traveling, so he's committing to moving that way. Slide Head, while it's a good anti-ground vs ground, don't zone me too aggressively, pull up on me type of thing, the right character has the ability to attack from a very long range. While he has the health to take these hits, at the same time, it's tough to pick the right thing because a lot of these moves require you to just preempt quite a bit. No run or air dash makes his movement very linear, even when you include his car options. So he has the ability to use his 6k to cancel into other things and advance, and it kind of helps a little bit in making him a little bit less linear. But in the end, without being able to vary here, he has to do everything from the ground, so you can always pay attention to ranges. For comparison's sake, here is a standard forward Mega Fist versus a Kara forward Mega Fist. Last, you have to be cool with getting hit a lot. So he has the most HP, and for like Nago, it's a benefit because, you know, Nago does a ton of damage, he can convert everything, he has a lot of strong options in neutral, where Potemkin, for him, his HP, and this is a kind of a classic grappler thing, is your HP is a resource. Like, you're working your way in, you're building your own HP up, and you have to be cool with just getting hit by stuff, because even if characters have better tools than you, it might not do too much damage. And there are even cases of characters putting you in their win condition and he can survive it, but you as a player have to be cool with getting hit. The most extreme example of this is probably Millia. Millia is pretty good at avoiding Potemkin's general pokes, but her air dash is not very far, so she's not good at punishing slide head. And when she does actually get an attempt, these mix-ups don't do that much damage to him. And routing wise, if you don't choose to just cash out immediately and break the wall ASAP, it takes quite a lot of mix-ups to kill Potemkin. During this time, he is building resource the entire time in order to meme me once he finally gets a chance. Again, how you feel about that is up to you. If you've been playing grapplers for a while, it's probably just standard activity. If you're either new to the game or new to this type of character, it could be pretty weird. I typically play Millia in Guilty Gear. For her, she has no HP. She has the second lowest life in the game. I can't think of HP as a resource. I can't like get hit for fun. Like, I have to be really careful with my defensive choices because I don't have the HP to play with. Where if I play Potemkin, I would be a little bit more open to taking risks because he can just take more hits. How does he fit in the game, and why do people generally consider him to be the weakest? So the main thing is that a combination of offense and defense. And what I mean is, it's a point we touched on before. His defense is pretty bad and offense is pretty oppressive. If you're playing a standard character offense-wise, like Millia or Kyle or Soul, where you have to like overextend a little bit on your block string offense, it's pretty normal and Potemkin is pretty decent at it. However, stronger characters like Nagoriyuki, Happy Chaos, they're able to push their offense over and over and over, and it's really hard for Potemkin to slip out, and he doesn't have an air dash to use, so you really have to use like Mega Fist. He can't mash very easily, so he gets oppressed really badly. And on top of that, while his win condition is great using Garuda Impact and 50-50s like that, generally because of the way neutral is, he reliably gets it when he has meter. And what I mean is, he's probably not going to just get it, where Happy Chaos will have the gun out ready and he'll just mix you up from neutral, just pull up. Zato makes you up from neutral. Potemkin usually gets his chance from things like Hammerfall full screen RC, Garuda Impact, or Mega Fist PRC, Garuda Impact, sequences like these. So it's in the middle or the end of the game, as in he doesn't really get to establish himself very early on. The combination of these two things I think are probably his biggest problem. So of course we could go into like hyper detail about like each move and each matchup, but I think at a core, if you look at it at a macro level and like what's important for the game, which for me I think attacking safely is critical in this game. It's definitely something all the top tier share, is that they're able to attack safely from neutral and move in. How good are you at being able to establish a safe offense in many situations? How much damage you do? What's your defense like? And like, what's your wall break situation like? These are like some very important situations. The fact that Potemkin can neither attack safely in neutral, and his defense is, while he has unique defense, he gets really oppressed because he doesn't have a fast button to mash. I think it makes it a huge struggle for him. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.